making this video because I can. Tim bought this truck as an owner-operator, not the first truck, and took a chance to improve his life, to maybe have a retirement, to maybe do what he has to do, and none of you know what this is like at 30 below zero. I don't think so. Unless you're an ice road trucker, you would never understand the pain, the fear. When he finally fessed up to taking this truck, I thought, my God, what is going to happen? And I took the high road. I said, nope, I am not defeating him. Let it be his success. I am going to support him. This payment was $930 a month. It's not about the 900. It's about the 60 grand in repairs or more. I'm still finding paperwork. It's about being on a $14,000 load and walking with $1,000 because the 13 grand was in fuel or repairs. I finally messaged him and said, for the likes of you, I will say, if one phone call comes to my husband, I promise you, I will disconnect that phone. How dare you promise him that you would sign on to Universal to pay for that trailer? Today, Timmy got a phone call from Universal. They said, we believe that you're a great driver, that your brother did you dirty, that your brother is a no good liar. This is Timmy's boss. Timmy hadn't quit yet. He wanted to see if he could use him as a referral. And he said, Tim, you're one of the greatest drivers I have ever met. I have never seen a man go through the things that you go through to get a load there, and you were never late. Now, you tried driving in 30 below, slippery roads, 12% grades, and get that load there on time, including oversized, heavy machinery. Oh my God, escorts being paid for. You have no fucking idea. And I'm telling you right now, and I will stand my ground on this, it will be forgiven, but it will never be forgotten. Because when you see your husband out there without a coat, without a coat, he couldn't even stop out in Canada, which I don't know if any of you know Canada, but Canada's a 2-lane road. If there's not a Walmart, if there's nothing like that, you're screwed. So Timmy had a coat that he's been wearing for 4 years. He couldn't get jumps. His boots had holes in the bottom, and he had to wait to come home to get those things. By the time he got here, he didn't even have a coat. So what did I do? I go down to the thrift store. And I buy my husband a coat, hoping that it fits, hoping that it's warm enough. He goes up to Alaska, again, a repair. His sister lives there, and she bought him a coat. Okay. So I messaged him, because today I was done. I said, for the likes of you, never again. God will deal with you harshly, and I hope he judges you as per your behavior with your brother. He is the only brother you have, Dave. He has always done right by you. He has always, how dare you come and pick up this truck? How dare you lower him to that worth? How dare you? And those are the messages I got. And you know what? It's not just being about angry. When you're a good person, which Timmy makes bad decisions, we all know that. But when you're a good person, see me pacing, I'm so pissed off. When you're a good person and you've worked hard all your life and all you've ever known is hard work, and you took care of your kids financially, your wife financially. I bought this house. I put the 11 grand, whatever it was, down. My son put his name on it so nobody could ever take it. I raised my kids by myself. I buried a son, so let's don't go there. But when he came and got that truck, I have never had a feeling like that. It felt like I was grieving 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears. And yes, I'm angry with Tim. You know why I'm angry with Tim? because he's worth more than that. He taught all them to drive a truck. Timmy taught all them how to frickin' drive a truck. The only so let's not go there again, but let's stay on the point. The point is, when your brother comes in and he doesn't have a coat in 30 below, his mustache was freezing the instant he came out of his truck. It would burn and singe him to his eyebrows would frickin' freeze off. Don't tell me he hasn't suffered. Don't tell me that God will not judge you for that. I am a believer. But I've been under incredible pressure being sick, but that's not the point. The point is, if you loved your brother, you could have said, bro, man, that repair was on me. Basic thing, 101, right? I'll float you $500. Anything, any kindness, I would have said, cool. It was the no kindness thing. It was the cruelty. It was the brutality. It was the taking down of character. It was Dave, once again, having to do it his way. You know what your way should have been, homie? You know what your way should have been? The high road. The high road is, we can do this together, bro. You're right, I do owe a payment. I do. However, I believe in you, and I know that you can get this party started. So I believe in you, and I love you. What did he say? It's business. Okay. It's business? Well, he could have taken it back anytime he wanted. That wasn't the point, dude. From the Jump Street in Houston, he had already invested $5,000. Did I suffer? Yeah, I did. Did I complain about it? No, I didn't. All I wanted my husband to do was get a piece of paper with his name on it and say, that's yours. Did I know it was going to get this dirty? I had a feeling. Do I know how bad of a person he is? I do. And the details. And it's nothing nice. It's crooked. It's shady. It has lacks of principle, ethics, and moral. So this morning I decided that I'm going to text him or message him on Facebook. And I said, what a horrible thing you've done. See, I was grieving. So we were just chilling, right? But today it hit me. I've never let anybody slip by me that has done stuff like that. So when he slipped right by my house, which he didn't come because he's too scared, I wasn't going to beat him up. I was going to say, Dave, are you sure you want to do this? No, he didn't come. Too scared. Fine. And then he tells my husband, this was a big misunderstanding. What's the misunderstanding? The fact that you flew into Denver, Colorado. My husband picked you up in my car with my gas tank and delivered you to a truck and actually went that morning and started it. So when you got here, you wouldn't have to. Even till the last moment, Timmy treated him with decency. This decency, I believe, not only gets taken advantage of by people, I think this decency says a lot about your character and what you're willing to go through. Today I looked at the title of my car, which is worth about $3,000. I paid 20 grand for it. A brand new Ford Escape in 2002. It's now what, 2015? 13-year-old car. The only miles I put on it was to go to Katrina. That's the truth. If you take all the Mississippi runs that I made, which was 5 or 6, I wouldn't even have that mileage on there. So I have driven my car very little, because I always worked local. I always kept it real close to the house. So that title is mine. Would I put up the title of my car that I paid the payments on, that I own? But I do believe this. I do believe. He just messaged me again, even though he said he blocked me. I want my say, and my say is this. How dare You put your brother through so much screaming and fighting and accusing and denying. In the very beginning, he denied that any of these repairs would be done. I've tried to handle him with kid gloves. I've been decent to him. I gave him double payments. At this point, I could go through all those payments, and I guarantee you it's more than 10 grand. But I'm not going to go there. That's a waste of time, wouldn't it be? Why don't I transplant my garden and make sure I have food for the spring and summer? Just in case my husband gets killed on the Alaskan ice road. Well, I defend Timmy all day and all night, and I'll tell you why. When you say you have somebody's back, have their back, even if they're in the wrong. If you say, I'm loyal to you, then be loyal. My father raised me with integrity. My father raised me with dignity, and we were poor as dirt. My father said, he did. He was a bastard, but I'll tell you what he said. And yeah, I'm smoking a cigarette. Wish I would have stayed quit before those doctors told me to smoke. Because they didn't let me take a Nicorette. Well, I shouldn't have listened to them on that one. You have no idea. The slips, the almost flip overs, the danger of what my husband does alone. Double drop deck, you have about that much space to the ground, and never cracking a piece of glass. Knowing his worth, and yet not getting there. I know my worth. I was planning on working in the spring at the garden center. That might go to shit. It's a meager job. I'm overqualified, but I do it. And I'll tell you why I do it. Because I love doing it. I could have gotten my master's degree. I didn't want to. Something changed in my life 2.5 years ago, and I just didn't want to go down that road. I wanted to have my hands in soil, help people grow food. That's where I was headed, and that got curtailed by Dave. You know what, Dave? I hope that everything that you have reaped, you sow. I hope for the life of you that Timmy doesn't pick up that phone when you call. Timmy will. He will. You know why? He forgives everybody. I don't do that crap. I don't forgive people until I'm ready. I grieve it until I'm ready. When I decide to forgive you, all you have to do is say you're sorry for what you really did. And then I'll go, okay. And I might have had a part in that too. Here's my part. But if you did the bigger bad, I wait till you come to me. I have never been accused of stealing. Well, actually, I stole a Snicker bar when I was a kid. 25 cents. I stole 75 cents out of my mom's wallet and got my ass beat on the ground. She kicked me. She sure did. And one thing I am not, and that's a liar. I don't fudge lies. There's 1,500 ways to lie, 1,500 pantomimes, 1,500 plus pantomimes on how you can lie. And I don't do any of those pantomimes. I don't. I look people straight in the eye and I go, no, or yes. I love people until they're not lovable. I love people even into the grave. I've been strong all my life. I'm opinionated, I'm open-minded, I'm a liberal arts major, so I love the arts. I love children because I was going to be a teacher. And I still haven't done it. You know why I haven't done it? Because they don't really teach kids nowadays. It's a big shit show for kids. Education's not the same as it was when I was a kid. If it was see Dick run, watch Jane walk, I would do it. It wasn't worth it. Even for special ed. Their testing is horrible. I would raise such a stink and you know it. So why did I get my degree? I got my degree because I still believed in our system. I still believe that if you love a child, they would have potential. I still believe that if you did the right thing and you did it with your whole heart, it would benefit you in the end. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. I live the way I live because I choose to. Does he piss me off? He sure does. Does he push me to my brink? Yes, he does. But I made a commitment to him and to God that I would see this through to the end. And I told Timmy today, I will divorce the likes of you if I have to if I have to. But if you ever let that man call you on your phone again, and I catch it on that bill, I guarantee you I will go down and slap papers so fast and spin your world out. Because why would you let someone who knowingly lies, who knowingly cheats people, and knowingly is a thief, and get back in bed with them just because you're their brother? I wouldn't do that. You know why? Because I kicked everybody in my life to the curb. They wanted to abuse me, beat me, do all these things. No, no, no. We don't play that way. As soon as I became of age, I jammed. I left my house. I left my parents. I left my siblings behind. Because if there was nothing to be gained by it, nothing whatsoever, nothing, zero, zilch, nada, and negative a million, then you know what? I will continue living as I live. Why don't you continue living as you live? And I'm just going to do what I need to do for me and my children and my family. Because that's all I've ever done. And if you're not going to give me any credit to even say I'm a good person, even that much credit, then I don't have the time of day for you. Because you don't really know me. So, I've forgiven my parents for their child abuse. And them abusing my children too, which I let them do. I've forgiven myself for letting that happen. I've forgiven my sisters and brothers for everything they did. And I've moved forward. And I had joy. And then I got sick. You know what? I don't get to go to church anymore. You know why I don't go to church? Because I don't even think I have enough strength to get in that car and drive over there. So my girlfriend's going to come pick me up. I don't know what's going to happen to me. But at the end of the day, I'm a good person. I've lived to the best of my ability, and I've tried to make amends for anyone I've hurt, and I've hurt quite a few people. I made amends to all those people when I started this journey 2.5 years ago. I went to them and said, I am sorry. I am so sorry for what I've done to you if it caused you pain, and I promise to never do that again. But if you cross me again, me and you are done. So a lot of done people are in my life. One of them happens to be my daughter. I get very done with her because she lies, and I don't like a liar. So I've kicked all these people out of my life. All my friends who were drug addicts, drunks, this, that, the other thing, weren't really there for me. When I was there for them, I would listen to them cry and moan and piss and whine and everything else. And guess what? When I wanted to piss and whine and moan and bitch, which by the way is only in my truckers group, when I wanted to do that, they didn't even have the time of day for me. How freaking weird is that? So I called every single one of them. There was like 100 of them. And I said, don't call my phone again. Unless you want to walk in this door and say, I'm sorry for what I did to you. I'm sorry I got drunk, showed up at your house, strung out on cocaine, and like pushed you and shoved you in the hallway while you were trying to help me. I'm sorry that I've never been there for you because I was doing this or doing that. I'm sorry that every single time you called me, I didn't pick up. Like, those are the kind of people I had in my life. So I created that monster and I disconnected that monster. If you go through this life, and I believe in literature, Emily Dickinson said this, if you help one bird from falling, your life has had meaning. If you get one friend in this lifetime, you found a treasure. So you know what? I'm a treasure, and so is everyone else. And if you want to waste my time with your lying, cheating, stealing, addicted, weirdo behavior, whatever, you can show out with me all day long. You could be like, I'm freaking showing out and be crazy, and I'll still have you in my life. But if you show out on me and you can't call me and say, I really blew it last night, I'm really sorry, do you forgive me? I'm the first one there going, yep, I do, because I've been there and I've done that. But for this situation in particular, I'm not in a forgiveness place yet. I'm not. 2 years of hell. 2 years of calling people and saying, can you fudge me? Can you front me? Can you do this? And that's my wheel and deal inside, and I'm good at it. But for my husband not to have a coat, that's what it came down to today. And his own brother saying it was his fault that he went on these roads and did what he did, even though he knew he sold the truck to him when he did it. That irks me to no end. A coat. A freaking pair of boots. I went without food for a week and lived on lentils just to get him that pair of boots. 15, 16, $20,000 loads, and he would walk with $4,000, $6,000. That's fine. By then I was so behind I had to pay all that. The luxuries that I've had in 2 years has been nuts. Yeah, you can look back at all my YouTube videos. Paying $500 for a garden and making it work regardless, not spending another dime. Doing everything I could, saving every seed, helping everyone else in their community garden. Let's not forget that. Blood, sweat, tears, praying, crying, grieving, all those things I signed up for. But I did not sign up for this. And I'm going to remind my husband in the winter, if you don't have a coat, it's on you. Because you should. So I love Timmy at the end of the day, but I don't have to like his brother. And if he doesn't like it, I'm still going to shoot these videos to him. And if he doesn't want to hear that, then he doesn't have any character. And that's the bottom line. Bottom line it. Dare you step here and I say to your face, I don't like what you did. Can I say that? Oh, I'm not allowed to? Kick rocks, David Thomas. What a cruel, unjust, no principle, unethical move you just made because it was business. That was not business when it was your brother. Live with that.